Large SUV sales have recovered, and if there were any doubt, look no further than the GMC Yukon. The Yukon's November sales were at the highest level since 2007, and up 16% year-to-date over 2015. In this review, we will cover all versions of the Yukon XL, including the SLE, SLT, and the Denali, which we have with us today. So let's go ahead and see if the Yukon is still the king of the class. We are very excited to announce our new partnership with Glenn Buick GMC here in Lexington, Kentucky. If you would like to check out their dealership and extensive inventory of all the Buick and GMC models, a link to their website has been provided in the description. Every Yukon gets this key fob. It has a nice heft to it and some real metal trim. On a cold day like this, you'll probably be happy to know that all Yukon XLs get remote start. The SLT and Denali also get keyless entry. Just press this button on the door to lock and unlock. Our Denali has power deployable running boards. They also have lighting to illuminate them at night. Let's check out what's under the hood. The Yukon XL will continue to offer two powerful V8s to choose between. The SLE and SLT Yukons will come with a 5.3-liter V8, which produces 355 horsepower and 383 pound-feet of torque. This engine is paired to a 6-speed automatic. We have the Denali, which borrows its powertrain from the Escalade. It gets a more powerful 6.2-liter V8 with 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. This engine is paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Both setups can be had in 2- or 4-wheel drive. Both engines come with active fuel management, so they are more efficient than you would think. The 2-wheel drive XL with the base V8 gets the best fuel economy at 16 city, 23 highway, 29 combined. The 2-wheel drive Denali with the 6.2 gets 15 city, 22 highway, 17 combined. Opting for 4-wheel drive on either of these engines will drop the combined rating by 1. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out the exterior design and features. The Yukon was all new in 2015, and there hasn't been many exterior updates since then. Like every GMC, the Denali gets a unique exterior treatment, starting with the signature chrome grille. The other two trims get a more subdued grille with chrome bars. The Denali also gets unique headlights, which are HIDs. The SLE and SLT get halogen beam headlamps. There are also LED daytime running lights that go around the headlights. These halogen fog lamps are standard across the board. Most people won't take the Yukon off-road, but the 8-inch ground clearance makes it an option. There are tons of wheels available on the Yukon. These wheels are 22-inch aluminum alloys with midnight silver paint, and they are optional on the Denali for $24.50. The standard Denali wheels are 20 inches with a simpler design, and the SLE and SLT come standard with 18-inch machined aluminum wheels. The brakes are 13 and 13.6-inch ventilated disc in the front and rear respectively. Of course, the tires are all seasons. You can't actually see anything, but I want to talk about the magnetic ride control that comes standard on the Denali. It's pretty complicated, but basically it makes adjustments to the shocks in 5 milliseconds by using a magnetic charge applied to a fluid with iron particles in it. The mirrors are heated and power adjusting on all models. The SLT adds power folding, puddle lamps, and turn signal indicators. The SLT and Denali get side blind zone alert as well. These indicators light up when a vehicle enters the blind spot. The XL Yukon is absolutely massive. It comes in at 224 inches long, which is a full 20 inches longer than the standard Yukon. It is also several inches longer than its main competitor, the Expedition EL. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety doesn't rate vehicles this big because they typically win in a collision, if you want to describe it like that. GMC does give you active safety technologies to avoid a crash, like automatic braking and lane keep assist. These come on all but the base SLE. Walking around to the back, you really begin to see just how large it is. The back door terminates before it even makes it to the rear wheel. The back is pretty simple, but the Denali does give you chrome across it. Every Yukon gets these LED taillights which mimic the bracket design of the headlights. The exhaust pipe is hidden, but you can still hear the burble of the V8. You also have a full-size spare tire. As you would expect, the Yukon can tow easily. What you may not expect is that the Denali with its bigger engine can actually tow less weight. It is rated at 8,100 pounds, whereas the 5.3 liter is rated at 8,300 pounds. There is a wiper hidden under the standard rear spoiler. All models get roof rails, but they are chrome on the Denali. The XL Yukon gets a massive 31-gallon fuel tank. This gets the most efficient setup, which is a 5.3-liter two-wheel drive, a range of 589 miles. We have the least efficient setup, with the big engine and four-wheel drive, which gets a range of 496 miles. This engine also recommends premium fuel. Now let's go ahead and check out the inside. The Yukon has 3 different interior color choices. Every model can choose between either jet black or cocoa shale colors. On the Denali you get one extra choice, this exclusive cocoa dark atmosphere color scheme. The door trim of the Yukon is made of nice materials with lots of contrasting colors. It's nicely padded where you rest your elbow, and on the Denali you get this wood trim. All the windows are auto down, but only the fronts are auto up. It is padded on the upper portions. Located way down here are your memory seats. They come on SLT and Denali, and remember seat, mirror, and steering wheel positioning. This 12-way power driver's seat with 4-way power lumbar is included on SLT and Denali. Those same 2 models get perforated leather seats, but only the Denali gets the unique stitching and the embroidered headrest. Oh, and the Denali also gets GM's safety alert vibrating seat. With these large running boards, getting in and out is a cinch. The running boards are a bit noisy when they retract. Inside the Yukon, you honestly feel like you're sitting at home in your living room. The seats are very comfortable, and you've got home accommodations like the Wi-Fi connection. The materials used in the cabin are high quality as well. The dash is stitched soft touch plastic from end to end on the upper portion. In front of the passenger you have some stitched leather and some more wood. Finally, there is some more leather down here and some more wood trim. Overall, it's not quite Escalade level, but it is close. Only the SLE does without push-button start. They will all get this 8-inch high-resolution touch display, however. The Denali's gauges are unique from the rest of the range since it gets another 8-inch display here. This display can show the regular expected stuff, but it can also be reconfigured several different ways. By clicking to the right and scrolling down to the settings, you can change the design. I apologize that it's kind of hard to see. There are 3 theme choices, and each really changes the overall look of the system. The steering is electric power assisted on all models. All models also get this leather-wrapped steering wheel with metal accents. Cruise is standard, but steering wheel heating is only on SLT and Denali. On the other side you have voice and phone commands, plus controls for the multifunction display. All Yukons get a column-mounted gear shift to free up space. You can shift manually using these toggles. You can also activate tow mode by pressing this button at the end of the shifter. When you shift into reverse, the standard backup camera appears. It has trajectory and parking sensors standard on all models. I would, however, like to see a 360-degree camera, at least on the Denali, considering how big it is. The mirrors do tilt down when in reverse, but I forgot to enable it. The wipers are actually rain sensing on all models, which is nice. The steering wheel is power adjusting on SLT and Denali. On this side of the wheel you have a ton of controls. This button here allows you to adjust the pedals. They are included in the memory functions as well. Here are your trailer brake controls. Next to it is four-wheel drive controls, and the headlight controls. Up here you have the Denali exclusive heads-up display. I'll zoom in on it so you can see it better. You can cycle through things like audio, phone, and tachometer. Navigation is also available when active. You can also adjust the position and the brightness. As you would expect, there's a ton of storage all around the Yukon. The center console could fit some serious junk, and it seems like it's big enough for things like a laptop. It is illuminated, and you have a 12-volt connection, 2 USB ports, and an aux jack. One nice feature GMC gives you is this wireless charging pad on SLT and Denali. It is compatible with Qi or PMA standards, but not all phones allow wireless charging, like iPhones for instance. Up here you have cup holders and another storage area, which are covered on the Denali. It has another 12-volt outlet and 2 more USB ports. Further down you have a slender storage area. The door also has 2 storage areas. Honestly, if you can't find enough space in this cabin, then you simply have too much junk. Somewhat surprisingly, these 3-stage heated and ventilated seats are standard on both the SLT and Denali. You can choose to heat just the seat back if you want. Tri-zone automatic climate control is another nice feature standard across the board. You make temperature adjustments through the big knob, and when you do, it also appears on the screen. The other controls are easy to use physical knobs and buttons. Below that you have controls for the rear climate control. You can of course control it from the rear as well. That is, unless you push this button, which will lock them out. A Bose audio system comes standard on every trim level, but the Denali gets the center point system, which has one more speaker, bringing the total up to 10. The Denali also has the active noise cancellation system, which uses the speakers to emit a counteracting wave to cancel out the engine sounds you don't want to hear. Like I mentioned earlier, all Yukons get this 8-inch screen with the IntelliLink system. Let's quickly check it out. The system as a whole is very quick to load, and the screen is very responsive. Everything is laid out in a way that makes sense. Overall, this is one of my favorite systems on the market. This is the home screen, and it is also where all the apps live. You can pull up the presets at any time by pressing the arrow. All models have Bluetooth audio, so you can play, pause, and skip songs at will. In the phone section, you can scroll between all of your synced contacts, or use the dial pad. You also have text message support. You can have it read aloud to you, and you can reply with a pre-made message.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this detailed review on the 2017 GMC Yukon XL Denali. Please like and subscribe.
If you don't want to use the IntelliLink system, you don't have to. When you plug in a smartphone, this projection button changes to either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. These of course give you a totally different experience. Only the Denali gets integrated navigation. It is also fast to load, and you have nice features like pinch to zoom. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the OnStar system. There are lots of things it can do, but I venture to say what you're probably looking for is the Wi-Fi. This is where you can find the password to connect to the hotspot. If you want to see a more detailed look at all of the IntelliLink system, then check out our dedicated Tech Help video. A link is provided in the description. One thing I almost forgot to mention is this hidden storage compartment. Inside there is yet another USB port. The mirror is auto-dimming on SLT and Denali. It has OnStar and SOS buttons built into it. The universal remotes are included on the same two models. Strangely enough, a moonroof is not standard on any trim level, even the Denali. It can be had in the open road package or standalone on an SLT and Denali. There isn't a panoramic moonroof option either. This controls the height of the tailgate. You also have a sunglass holder with a built-in conversation mirror. Overall, the Yukon's interior is a nice place to spend time. It has a ton of space, it's technologically advanced, and it's luxurious. If this isn't enough, you can always move up to the Escalade, but I venture to say this will be pleasing for most of you. What you are hearing now is the new rear seat reminder. This tone goes off if the rear door has been opened a short time before or during the latest trip. GM is the first in the industry to have a system like this. Now let's go ahead and check out the rear seats and cargo.
The rear door does have the same materials and colors as in the front. The rear cup holders are on the door. In the back of the Yukon XL, you'll find 39.7 inches of legroom and 39.1 inches of headroom. This means it's a little bigger than the regular Yukon and the Expedition EL. Let's talk quickly about the rear seating layout. Only the Denali comes standard with these captain's chairs, and they're $750 on the SLT. Just like the front, the rear has tons of connections. We have a regular household outlet, and to the right of that we have a 12-volt power outlet. There are also more connections down here, which I think might be a part of the rear seat entertainment package. And since Tri-Zone Climate is standard, they'll all get these controls back here. This rear seat entertainment system is optional on every trim and has two of these screens, one for the second row and one for the third row. It comes with remote controls and wireless headphones. The vents in the rear come out in the ceiling. The headliner is pretty nice and soft. If you get the captain's chairs, these are your armrests. As far as legroom is concerned, the Yukon XL is decently spacious. I've got a pretty good amount of space for my knees and feet. Sliding over with the seat fully back, legroom is pretty cramped, but my feet do have space to move around. And by the way, the seats can recline back a pretty good ways. The rear hatch can be opened 3 different ways. To fully open it, grab this integrated handle. To open just the glass, just push this button twice. This is a feature that a lot of newer SUVs aren't offering anymore, so it's nice GMC gives you that option. In case you didn't want to use the fob or the handle, you have a hands-free feature. Just wave your foot under the bumper to open it. Inside, you're obviously going to find a lot of space in the Yukon XL. Even with the third row in place, you get a massive 39.3 cubic feet of space. That's a nearly 25 cubic feet increase over the regular Yukon. If you choose to fold some of the seats, you'll find 76.7 cubic feet and 121.1 cubic feet with the third and second row folded respectively. Both the SLT and Denali get these power folding second and third row seats. The second row seats can either fold flat with the floor or fold up and out of the way. The third row of the Yukon XL is a huge improvement over the regular model. I can say from personal experience that the regular Yukon, Escalade, and Tahoe have pretty sad third rows, but the extended wheelbase version helps with that significantly. I have a good amount of leg and foot room, and I'm actually not super uncomfortable, which is a great thing for a third row. Cup holders, climate vents, and the rear entertainment screen are also included. And you guessed it, another 12-volt power outlet. You can fold the second row seat by using this button. I really like this Denali headrest. The passenger seat is also 12-way power, just like the driver's. The dash is stitched leather and wood trim. Now the glove box is actually pretty small compared to the rest of the vehicle. And it's also not felt lined. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed this detailed look at the 2017 GMC Yukon XL Denali 4-wheel drive. Stay tuned for the pricing information of this particular model, as well as the rest of the Yukon XL lineup. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.